This week, X-raying remotely, drinking virtually, and exercising like a crazy person. Hello you, hope you're doing okay. Lara's on the end of this line. You're looking well, mate. How you been? How's the first week of not quite so lockdown been?
Oh, it's been good being able to go out and do more exercise. I did 30,000 steps yesterday.
Wow, is that good? I have no idea. No one's ever explained the step business to me.
But talking of health, another issue that has been happening over the past couple of months is that when people have needed to go to the doctor or to a hospital, they've been nervous of either catching the virus or playing their part in overwhelming health systems. So that has meant in some cases that people have missed urgent care that they really needed.
So Jane Copestake has been to Harrogate District Hospital and a GP surgery in London to find out how staff are trying to see more patients remotely where they can.
When coronavirus hit the UK, we saw hospitals being rapidly set up to take more patients, and even new ones were built. But in the last month, admissions to hospital emergency rooms have dropped to the lowest point since records began.
Many hospitals have seen a decline in the number of patients coming in for emergency care or scheduled appointments due to the coronavirus. But technology is enabling safe social distancing while also ensuring that important issues aren't missed.
Finding ways to quickly adapt NHS systems to remotely check on patients with acute or continuing illnesses has been an urgent task. We've been shown some of the ways doctors are working to carry on seeing patients without physically seeing them. Something as simple as sending an image on a phone is incredibly complex for the NHS. There are rules surrounding patient data that make it difficult to share scans, even between hospitals and doctors. But with coronavirus, doctors had to quickly find ways around this to enable them to work from home.
When COVID occurred, the approach to the deployment changed. The NHS has a number of challenges around governance arrangements. They have a lot of sensitive information, and sometimes they can be a barrier to deploying technology in the NHS. There was a very pragmatic approach taken by the guys across this region then to make sure that those final remaining steps were accelerated.
The Yorkshire Imaging Collaborative were already working with AGFA Healthcare on ways to share X-rays and scans among 6 hospitals using the Zero Exchange Network browser. But now the system is entirely accessible from home, meaning doctors can consult on critical patient care, including for cancer, from their living rooms, with no PPE required and no risk of spreading the virus.
I think everything's escalated, and over the last month I've really integrated it into my house so I can work almost exactly as I do at the hospital. All the data regarding the patient is all kept on hospital servers, which are all very secure. There's high level encryption. I have to use a special VPN network to access it. As soon as I log off, then there's nothing on my computer to identify that patient or any images remaining whatsoever. So if I had my computer stolen, there's no data on there. The only potential risk is when people come around sticking cameras through my window and have a look on the screen.
GPs too are finding new ways to see patients remotely. We're all now familiar with apps like GP at Hand and Push Doctor that allow you to see a doctor by video call on your mobile. The MedicSpot takes things further. These machines are in use in 318 pharmacies and 86 NHS care homes, hospitals and GP surgeries, including Dr. Yasmin Razik's clinic in West London.
That's it. You follow the video, so don't touch your forehead.
It moves beyond a simple video call with the doctor by giving the patient access to a blood pressure monitor, pulse oximeter,
Did you get a reading?
stethoscope, contactless thermometer,
We'll wait 5 seconds. Lovely.
and even a light to check the ear, nose or throat.
That's wonderful.
But obviously we're doing everything remotely and digitally as much as possible for patient safety, but there are times we really do need to examine our patients. And so it gives us also that safety aspect that we can listen to the heart and the lungs, look inside the throat and the ear and make a proper diagnostic assessment rather than just relying upon a conversation on the phone or a remote video.
The system cuts down on the use of vital PPE, as a doctor does not need to wear it and change for each consultation. This is very helpful, as at this surgery, PPE is in short supply. While we were filming, a volunteer from a 3D printing charity dropped off a donation.
This is a face shield, and these are 3D printed. The black part has been 3D printed by somebody locally, and then we have cut the visor and the button elastic, and we're distributing them to frontline health workers. And it turns out there's a distributed manufacturing capacity across the UK to make 140,000 so far.
We have a need, and it's wonderful actually that you've come to support us, because unfortunately, as you were saying, through normal procurement lines we can't actually access PPE, and so GPs are having to do their best to find it from everywhere available to support their staff. I think it's amazing that you've come and helped us. I'm really, really grateful.
New apps are also allowing patients and doctors to interact remotely. Silo allows doctors to communicate with enhanced security, allowing them to annotate photographs and blur patient records so they don't have to meet in person, while Zesty helps patients access their medical records, book appointments, and even attend consultations online.
I think we are often guilty of being a bit slower to adopt technologies in health, but sometimes it takes a crisis like this to come out with a positive change, and I think it's really shown us that the benefits of adopting remote technologies to deliver healthcare, and we won't be going back.
That was fascinating. And Jen joins us now. Hey mates.
Hi Sven.
It looks like the health service could be permanently changed by this. Is that right?
Certainly. I mean, all of the doctors that we spoke to said that if there was one positive thing that would come out of this pandemic was the acceptance and advancement of remote working and remote technology. I mean, after I filmed that bit with the medic spot, I was really surprised to come home and find a text message from my local GP surgery asking me to buy all of those instruments, saying if you want, you can have a blood pressure monitor, wireless scales, a thermometer for your house, and a pulse oximeter that would really help them to work remotely with me. They said there was absolutely no obligation to do so, but that it would be useful.
Wow. And this is not just about doctors consulting with patients remotely, is it? This is about doctors being able to collaborate with other doctors remotely too.
Indeed, that was one of the other things that we heard from the doctors, was how surprised they were and how happy to use tools like Microsoft Teams, especially for things like multidisciplinary meetings, where you'd have doctors being drawn in, even potentially from different parts of the country, to offer their expertise on a particular patient's case.
Okay, well, Jen, thanks so much for doing that. Stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you soon, yeah?
Hello, and welcome to the Week in Tech. It was the week that Sir James Dyson admitted that his scrapped electric car project has cost £500 million of his own money. But before you start planning a whip round for the vacuum cleaner mogul, this week he also ranked #1 on the Sunday Times UK Rich List with a fortune of £16.2 billion. So it's not exactly put him in the poorhouse. Lots of unmanned air vehicle news now. A company called Everdrone has begun delivering automated defibrillators via autonomous drones to scenes of cardiac arrest in Sweden. It's part of a trial to see if the drones can get the kit to people in need as fast as possible. And Canadian startup Flash Forest is using drones to fire seed pods into the ground on land outside Toronto previously scarred by forest fires. The company says its drones can plant much faster than human beings. It was also the week that games publisher Ubisoft took Apple and Google to court. It's suing over a mobile game called Area F2, which has been sold by both companies' app stores. Ubisoft says the game is a near-carbon copy of its Rainbow Six Siege. Unsurprisingly, Area F2's developers, eJoy, are also being sued. And finally, in this week's edition of Boston Dynamics Robot Dog Does Stuff Real Canines Can, Rokos, a New Zealand-based robot company, has demonstrated how the doggy droid could be used to herd sheep. It's useful, yes, but is he a cute, good boy? No, I don't think he is.
Hey guys, it's after work on a Friday, and I'm enjoying a virtual pub crawl with a few mates, playing different games depending on what pub we go to next. It's an attempt to try and recreate that Friday feeling that you get down at your local, and these kind of video calls have been pretty popular since pubs were shut as part of the UK lockdown. Once the awkwardness of organising a massive video call is broken, people can get together from all over to enjoy a catch-up. As pubs battle for survival, some are recognising they can use the virtual world in order to keep hold of customers, and maybe even attract new ones. Brewery and pub chain Brewdog have taken a different approach, hosting cookery and art classes as well as tours of their distillery. Former pub owner Jay Flynn has taken the popular pub quiz online. His most recent live stream quiz reached over 182,000 viewers on YouTube, smashing a world record. And after starting to host virtual pub sessions, the British Naturism organisation say they've had more members join up in the past 2 months than at any other time in their history. And one pub in Ireland has really gone above and beyond. The McKeever's bar uses a drone to fly bottles of beer to its local regulars, and for free. Pub owner Avril McKeever told us this was their way of giving back to the community. And if you can't get yourself to your favourite pub, then why not just build it yourself? Tristan Cross recreated his local pub in virtual reality. He even animated a chat between him and his mates. But it's not quite finished yet, and Tristan wants to add a few features like pulling your own pint or playing on a quiz machine. So, through creativity and dedication, pub culture is being kept alive during the pandemic. However, it's not all fun and games. Drinking is a problem for some, even before lockdown began. Recent research by Alcohol Change UK suggests that 35% of people are drinking less. However, 21% say they are drinking more during the pandemic. And that could be, in part, to a new kind of social pressure that's brought about by video calls.
People are still very much wanting a glass in their hand and wanting that glass to be visible. Why are they doing that? That drink signifies adult socialising or relaxed adult. So there's something about the visibility, something about the tech of being able to see each other that means we feel encouraged to kind of have that glass to show this same symbol. What's really important is that a lot of people don't want to be drinking on those calls or are non-drinkers. They're people who've recovered from a drinking problem. It's really, really important that we're not excluding those people. Not deliberately, but I think subtly we can exclude.
Those with a drinking problem could struggle with this new social norm, and many vital support services are on hold or unable to conduct face-to-face meetings. So what help can people get? Change Grow Live specialises in helping those with substance abuse issues, and while they've not been able to see people face-to-face, they are one organisation using video calls to be there for those in need.
Although it's been a bit of a hurdle and it's been very new to us and very sort of different to our day-to-day working, and we found a lot of the clients have really benefited from it. Also for people that maybe wouldn't have been able to come out of their comfort zone to a group because of maybe anxiety.
And one of those people is Sean, who has seen these sessions as a lifesaver.
I was using alcohol to make everything quieter. A few hospital visits through the self-harm, through, not really wanting to be here anymore, if I'm being honest. I have not dealt with the lockdown very well. The lockdown all of a sudden came about. I lost my mental health support in person. Drinking definitely was affected a few times by the lockdown. I felt like I needed to have a drink to take away the feeling of the raised anxiety. The Zoom meetings we've been having are so good. You're in the comfort of your own home. I can see every person that's talking. Some other positives are that, you don't have to show your face. You can just talk. People will learn a lot more about me through Zoom because I'm less nervous to talk to people on a video, you see, than I am to do it in real life. But I definitely think that I'd like to see it post-pandemic, definitely.
The lockdown has put severe stress on us all. And for people in recovery, the loss of connection is huge, and this could be a triggering time. However, virtual counselling could make it easier for those in need of help, now and in the future.
That was Omar, and if you've been affected by any of the issues in that report, then please do know that help is available and you can talk to people by contacting any of the websites on screen now.
Yes, and another difficulty that people have been having in lockdown is maintaining physical fitness.
We're now allowed out a little bit more to do exercise, but let's be honest, it can be hard to do even at the best of times.
So true, and that's why Chris Fox and Kate Russell are doing their best to get you back into peak physical condition. Spencer, I hope you've got your gym kit at the ready.
Already wearing it.
Joe Wicks has become a national hero during the lockdown with his daily exercise classes for kids. When I was at school, I mostly tried to avoid PE. So, if you're the kind of person who needs exercising to be dressed up as something a little more fun, here's my top picks for the lockdown. Strictly Come Dancing star Oti Mabuse has been making step-by-step dance classes for all ages and abilities that are loads of fun to do, even if you don't have a partner. While Olympic medal winners Jade Jones and Bianca Walkden, who also happen to be flatmates, take us through an easy taekwondo workout which can be watched on the BBC Sport website. Loads more celebrity athletes have been getting in on the lockdown motivation action under the guise of the Living Room Cup, a weekly challenge to go head-to-head with the pros. You'll find them all on the Nike Training Club app. Just watching those challenges is exhausting. If you prefer to compete with people at the same level as you, both Strava and Fitbit let you set up challenges with your friends or the local community of app users. You can even take on one of the Fitbit solo adventures, like spotting local landmarks. Augmented reality is put to great use in the challenges set by AR Runner, which asks you to place the dots in an open area, then run about touching them as they light up. If you are completely new to exercising but fancy giving running a go, I can highly recommend an app that got me started a few years back. The NHS-backed Couch to 5K is available through the app or as a podcast series you can listen to while exercising. It talks you through a plan to get running 5 kilometres comfortably in 9 weeks, and it really works. You could also try taking on one of the many social challenges doing the rounds, like Staircase Snowdon, which sets the stair climbing goal of 4,610 steps to reach the summit of Mount Snowdon via the Llanberis Path, a favourite of hikers. See the Plas Brennan Instagram for details. Another fun augmented reality option to spice up your daily walk is Wallami. With this app, you can create geotagged works of art that other app users can see using the AR viewer. Now, if you are locked down with your family at home, then I think everyone getting involved is key to maintaining harmony. A brilliant example of this is the Family Lockdown Boogie, created by Jack Buchanan. And if you decide to give it a go yourself, make sure you tweet us a link to @BBCClick.
Family lockdown boogie. We can't go out, so we're all about family lockdown boogie.
I have to be honest, I have really struggled with my motivation during the lockdown, and I'm just not the kind of person that goes for a run. I'm not a jogger. So for the last week, I've been traveling to exotic locations and working out in virtual reality. This is Supernatural. It's a VR fitness experience, and the company promises that it's the most fun you can have working out, although that's what everybody who tries to trick me into exercise says. I'm in Machu Picchu today, and I have to strike these orbs as they come towards me, and when I see a triangle, I have to squat into it, and you'll have to forgive me if I don't put my back into it today, because turns out after doing this for a week, your legs really hurt. So I guess it's kind of working. Now you might notice a striking similarity with a popular VR game, Beat Saber, which is one of those breakout VR hits, and it is very similar, although the developers of Supernatural have tried to distinguish it and make it appeal to more than just a gaming crowd. And they've done that by having fitness trainers in the game. Today I'm doing full body work with Rainier.
Enough talk, let's get into some warm up.
And they're using big name artists and songs. but they're hoping to charge a monthly subscription, and that has annoyed some Oculus Quest owners who are used to paying just once to own a game. Okay, well, online from the company is Chris Milk, and Chris, I've been doing this for a few days and my thighs are killing me. Is that normal?
We hear that a lot. A lot of people aren't used to lower body weight exercises. What I'm excited about is that people say that their lower body is sore, but they don't actually remember the workout being hard. Nobody likes doing multiple squats in a row. If you can hide it inside of a fun activity, you don't remember the pain of the workout because it wasn't painful.
How are you going to make this appeal to more than just gamers? Because I suspect most people that have one of these headsets are gamers.
We're trying to bring virtual reality to a different demographic. The Oculus Quest is what we've launched on. We're getting a lot of people that are saying that they bought a headset either off of eBay or off a third party for the purpose of exercise using Supernatural. And we're engaging with all of them. We've learned so much just in the last month of having thousands of people inside of it.
Now at the moment this is only available in the US and Canada, where the earliest adopters are about to end their free trial month. So the company is about to find out if people are prepared to pay. One obvious downside to working out in VR is that you get really sweaty in the headset, although Supernatural's offering a free silicone face shield to anyone who signs up for the free trial. I've been comparing the experience to Ring Fit. It's Nintendo's latest fitness game for the Switch, and you use your body and this ring to control a character on the screen. So it has you jogging, doing squats and yoga poses, even stretching and squeezing this ring to defeat an evil dragon in the game who wears a wrestling singlet. As you'd expect from Nintendo, it's very cute and a little bit weird. What's really clever is that the controller can even measure your heart rate to see if you're working up a sweat, and I certainly did. Although like a lot of Nintendo games, this one is full of text prompts that you have to skip your way through, and a lot of the time I just feel like, get on with it! Now both of these might just be a passing craze, like Wii Fit was, but I'm determined to lose my lockdown weight, and at least they've got me moving every day and sweating it out.
How absolutely fantastic was that? We got to talk to Chris. He's online now. Mate, how do you feel after all that?
I'm exhausted, really. Doing that for a few days in a row has left my thighs so sore I could barely sit down.
Oh goodness, but was it actually better than just doing a YouTube workout? It can't be very comfortable to wear a VR headset for it.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely gross having the headset on. You get sweaty in VR at the best of times, and doing a full workout with it on, you do get very warm and steamy in there. It's not nice. But for me, at least with this, you're forced to do what it's telling you, rather than if it was just a YouTube video, I could just ignore it.
I worry my goggles would bounce off during the jumping squats. Did you have that?
No, they haven't fallen off yet. Luckily, I've dropped the controllers a few times, and I'm always really worried that when I'm swinging my arms around, I'm going to punch the fridge. So I've got to be careful with that one.
Oh dear, unusual hazards. But don't you think this is all just a bit of a novelty, really? Would you keep doing it?
Okay, yeah, it might be a bit of a fad, I'm not sure yet, but ultimately for me, it's got me working out. Before I was doing nothing, I wasn't going for a jog. Now I am doing these exercises every day, so I'm going to stick at it and work on my fad bod rather than getting a dad bod.
Nice.
Oh, brilliant. Chris, you're such a great sport. It's always brilliant to talk to you. Thanks for doing that for us. That is it, though, from us for this week.
You can keep up with the team throughout the week on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook and Twitter at BBC Click.
I'm out of breath just thinking about all this. Thanks for watching, and we will see you soon.
Bye-bye.